Yo, what's up, everybody? It's About Life Podcast. Your boy Shane, aka Black Duplicate. What's up, all my lifers? Welcome back for Health Day. And all my newcomers, make sure you like, share, subscribe to the content. You know what I'm saying? This is Health Day. It's Health Day. Health Day. One of my favorites. We ain't getting a lot of traction with the health stuff. I don't know what's going on with y'all people, yo. What's going on? Health is important. You know what I mean? Got to stay up to tune with your health. And I get I'm only speaking positive stuff, so, you know, people seem to be more attracted to not positive stuff. But that's okay. I'm going to keep this traction going with this positive stuff. Eventually, I'll pick up on a crowd of people, and people will be more enlightened. So, what we got today is this kind fella right here on my TikTok brought me this cool video about gut-brain connection, right? He's saying your gut is your second brain. I think your gut is your first brain. I think this is your second brain. My perspective, he has his own. Let's hear his.
Did you know that your gut is actually your second brain? The gut, which is something found inside your stomach, actually has more than 100 million neurons. Neurons that are very similar to the ones found inside your brain. These gut neurons also communicate back and forth with the neurons inside your brain. This connection can actually make your gut affect your mood and emotions, and your mood and emotions affect your gut. So this thing in your stomach is partly controlling your mind. Inside your stomach right now is something called the gut microbiome.
Yes.
Made up of trillions of bacterial microorganisms, which also vary uniquely between each person. We literally have an entire universe inside of us populated by tiny bacterial beings. And whatever.
Which is interesting. It's interesting because it's like our gut is connected to the inner world and our brain is connected to the outer world. That's what it kind of seems like, and there's this weird cohesion going on with neurons. You know, your brain supposedly has enough neurons to connect to almost every star in the universe. If you believe space is real, that's on you, right? If you do, or whatever's out there, your brain has the capabilities to connect to all of it, right? And then your gut connects to everything within with its microbiome, right? Which has all these little, I'm sure they don't look exactly like that, but they're similar, you know, which is why you need to drink your kombuchas and get your fermented foods, like your sauerkraut and all that good stuff. And let's continue on.
What happens to these beings actually affects your mental health and emotions. As 95% of your serotonin, the molecule that makes you happy, is actually made by these gut bacteria. And so is 50% of your dopamine, the molecule that literally gives you motivation. Which obviously means you want to keep your gut as healthy and as undisrupted as possible. But this is not the case with most people, and it's all due to their diet.
Yep.
Okay, so here are some tips on what you should avoid and what you should put into your diet. A gut-healthy diet would include things like organic fruits and vegetables, healthy unsaturated fats like avocados, peanut butter, nuts, seeds, and other things like that. Also grass-fed meat or wild-caught fish. And if you're gonna eat beef, make sure the cows are not fed antibiotics because those actually kill your gut bacteria.
Yep.
You should also eat fermented foods or drinks. All of these help create new gut bacteria, and more of that means a healthier gut. You should also eat prebiotic foods, which actually feed your healthy gut bacteria. Chia seeds are one of the best ones.
Now I want to stop here because I want to bring up some awareness on some of these things, right? Chia seeds, fantastic. That is probably the number one thing on this page. Same with hemp seeds, fantastic. Bananas as well, fantastic. Flaxseed, be very wary of flaxseed. It can lower testosterone levels for all my males. Very careful. In garlic, be extremely careful as well. It is a hybrid and can be used as a poison when mixed with certain other foods. Be very wary, very careful. Root, fantastic. Onion, huge testosterone booster if you eat it raw. If you eat the onion raw, it helps boost testosterone levels, right? So keep that in mind. And then asparagus is incredibly useful for pregnant women. If you're a pregnant woman, eat tons of asparagus. It will help with your whole entire process of your body and your baby and all that good stuff. So keep those in mind. Just want to bring that to light.
You should also eat foods that have tyrosine, which your gut actually turns into dopamine. These are some good options for that. You should also eat...
Hold on, let's go right back real quick. I want to see that list. Salmon, tuna, chicken, eggs, pumpkin seeds, and other seeds. Yes, yes, and yes. Now, the thing that's sketchy is when if you can, when you get your eggs, try to get soy-free eggs, because soy is an estrogen mimicker. So be very careful. Of course, when people say it's a myth, I'd rather not chance it, right? So your eggs, try to get them soy-free, and be very wary with your chicken. Make sure they're not using no bullshit foods. Like, they feed these chickens a lot of soy and a lot of corn and shit like that, and that's just tearing them up, right? Which is why they have to pump them with antibiotics to keep them alive long enough to get to your damn stores. So be very, very wary in your salmon. Make sure it's wild caught, and also be careful. Salmon does contain a lot of parasites, so make sure you cook it properly. And if you are gonna eat it like in sushi and stuff like that, make sure you eat your wasabi and your ginger. It helps kill the parasites that are within the salmon. So be very, very, very careful. Pumpkin seeds, fantastic. I do think they might have a slight indicator of weakening testosterone receptors. So be very careful with that as well.
You should also eat foods with tryptophan, which your gut actually turns into serotonin. Spirulina and chia seeds are the foods with the highest amounts of it.
And your chia seeds, what you could do is you could put them in water. I think it's like overnight. I think it is. You put them in water overnight or something like that. You could look into the process, and they actually grow and expand and start creating chlorophyll and a whole bunch of other fibers and beautiful things that are good for your body. So chia seeds, golden. Make sure you keep them. And this spirulina is incredible. If you can get your hands on it when it's natural and fresh, it's great. But once they turn it into that powder type form, you're killing all electricity within it. It might not even be useful. My opinion.
Also consume less sugar and antibiotics, as both of them actually kill your gut bacteria. And you should definitely avoid foods that have been exposed to glyphosate. As this article says, glyphosate exposure may have consequences for mental health through alterations in the gut microbiome. All genetically modified foods are exposed to glyphosate. Some very common ones that are found in nearly all food are corn, soy, and canola oil. Wheat and oats are also exposed to this chemical.
Yes.
And keep in mind, most junk food is made out of these crops, so always check the ingredients in the back and check for a non-GMO label, or sometimes even a glyphosate-free label. I also recommend getting something that detoxes your gut. As I said before, zeolite minerals are probably the best detox you can find, as they've literally been used to remove things like glyphosate, fluoride, and heavy metals from water environments. And as you know, the human body is made out of literally 70% water.
Now let's go back real quick. He said natural zeolites, right? So zeolites is something you want. I believe I'm not sure. I'm gonna get that for you. We're gonna do a detox episode one of these days coming up. We're gonna do a detox episode and talk about a whole bunch of different types of detoxes you can do. I know worms wood. I know you got papaya seeds. And I know there's like a shit ton of them. There's like a massive amount of dope detoxes. I know there's some herbal detoxes with like a whole bunch of different types of herbs. So we're gonna get into that. Hopefully I could bring somebody on one of these days about it.
Really been used to remove things like glyphosate, fluoride, and heavy metals
and
from
cilantro.
Yes,
cilantro.
And as you know, the human body.
Cilantro has a chemical within it that allows it to take out heavy metals from your brain and from your body. It removes the heavy metals and flushes them out of your system. So get into cilantro. Eat your cilantro.
Body is made out of literally 70% water. This is the zeolite supplement I use. If you want some, you can find a discount for it in the link.
There you go. Pure body. Interesting.
In my bio.
Interesting. Pure body. Hey, we could look into that. This is his TikTok. So if you want to look into him and see if any of his, he got good information. He does got good stuff. I did like that video. It was really interesting. I figured I'll share it with y'all. He had a lot of good topics. Glyphosate is that's a motherfucker right there, man. That thing is that shit is taking people out. It's messing up your mental stability. It's tearing people up. So you gotta be very careful what you're putting into your body. Some people just using it, business allows them to create more, have more, store on shelves longer, make money, so people get into desperation modes if they want to become wealth and become rich, that they're willing to sacrifice the lower class, right? So you got to be very careful what you're doing. Like I said, I'm trying to stay positive here. So he did give you some good detox measurements. If you want to get some metals and some bull crap out of your system, we're going to do a detox episode, so stay tuned for that. Now, this guy right here, he's talking about something interesting. it's positive and negative. I'm trying to stay away from negative content, but it is positive when it comes to people out here that are eating meat. If you're not eating meat, you could just go now if you like. You don't have to watch this. It's not how people are. But he is hitting on some points when it comes to the soil of our earth. We only got like 60 years left of actual soil that can be used. Of course, there's other areas, but we're talking farmland type shit. So right now, like, meat is becoming one of the predominant sources of nutrients and minerals. But the thing about that is because grass will never stop. Grass is going to continuously grow regardless. So as long as you put the animals in, they eat the grass, more grass is going to grow. So the animals are always going to get their minerals and nutrients. Problem is, our vegetables aren't going to be able to do that in the next couple of years. You know what I mean? So we got to be careful. But let's hear them out.
Animal products is one of the only nutrient-dense foods left on the planet. The soil is fucking shot. Even if you're buying organic, right? Which means they're not using these sprays. Yeah. When you're buying an orange at Whole Foods, that land does nothing but churn out oranges. And the soil at that point gets completely depleted, dilapidated. Like, that soil looks like this. I mean, it's like brown. Yeah. Soil's just dirt. It's like black. It's dirt. And rich, right. It's just dirt. At that point, you know, the nutrients from the soil is what actually makes the food nutrient dense. So when I look into this and then when I just think about it intuitively, I'm like, dude, animal products are like one of our only nutrient dense foods left. Unless you're getting like biodynamic local produce where they're changing, you know, like maybe like they're growing berries and then they're growing melons and you know something like that. But like with the animal products, if they're on a quality pasture, it's got good soil, they rotate the cows properly how they're supposed to, because that's the big advantage.
Regenerative farming,
right?
Yeah, regenerative farming, right. Bro. But that's the problem though. That seems to be the problem. A lot of people ain't doing regenerative farming, so like they're just growing one crop on that one land for a massive amount of time, and then it destroys the soil. So all I'm saying is we really need to get on the point where we need to start growing our own stuff. So you know you need to get on to the ability to grow your own vegetables and your fruits, which is a very positive thing. You might want to learn how to do that, get into that. There's people out here that sell seeds. I don't sell seeds, but I do have some, but I ain't selling them anytime soon. But get into that. Start stacking your seeds, start saving your seeds of all your stuff, and then you can start, you know, growing your own stuff and get that nutrient-dense vegetables and fruits for those out there that don't want to eat meat. I eat meat. Obviously, I switched my diet. It seems to be according to the season, kind of accidentally. But yeah, I seem to be doing that. But right now, I'm eating meats, right? So I feel great. Like, all foods really don't change the way I feel. They do impact me in other ways, but we'll get into a diet episode another time, which I've talked about some of this on my TikTok, so you can go check that out if you like. But that's the health day for you. I just wanted to give you some good content. You know, I love y'all. I'm out of here. If you want more, let me know. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the content. We out of here about life. Let's go.